Have you ever gotten revenge on someone without them knowing it was you? My upstairs neighbor was a nightmare. Every night from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., he'd blast music, stomp around in what sounded like concrete boots, and have loud phone conversations. I tried talking to him, left polite notes, even called the landlord. Nothing worked. The final straw was when I had a job interview at 8 a.m. after a completely sleepless night. I was exhausted, unprepared, and bombed the interview because I could barely think straight. That's when I noticed something interesting about my neighbor's routine. Every morning at exactly 7 a.m., he left for work. And every morning, he'd realize he forgot something and come back up the stairs, making even more noise. I also noticed he always parked in the same spot, right under a tree where pigeons like to roost. So I started my own little routine. Every evening, I'd scatter birdseed on the ground around his car. Not obvious amounts, just enough to attract attention. Within a week, that tree became pigeon central. His car was constantly covered in bird droppings. He'd wash it, and by the next morning, it was a mess again. But the real genius part was the timing. Remember how he always forgot something? Well, I started setting my alarm for 6:45 a.m. Every morning, I'd hear him get ready for work. The second I heard his door close, I'd start my blender. Not loud enough to wake the whole building, just loud enough to travel through the thin walls to his apartment. Then I'd use my coffee grinder. Then I'd run the garbage disposal. See, my neighbor worked night shifts at a warehouse and slept during the day. So when he'd come back for whatever he forgot, he'd find his apartment filled with the sounds of normal morning activities from below. After 2 weeks of this, I heard him on the phone with someone. I swear this guy downstairs is doing it on purpose. Every time I try to sleep, he starts making noise. The irony was beautiful. He had no idea he'd been keeping me awake for months with his late-night parties, but the best part was yet to come. One morning, I saw him outside, frantically scraping bird droppings off his windshield. He was running late and getting increasingly frustrated. That's when I walked out to check my mail, looking perfectly well-rested and cheerful. "Morning," I called out, or "Beautiful day, isn't it?" He glared at me. "Not really. These damn birds are ruining my car." I looked at his car with fake concern. "Wow, that's terrible. Have you tried parking somewhere else? This is my assigned spot." I nodded sympathetically. "That's so frustrating. I hope your day gets better." As I walked back inside, I heard him mutter, "At least somebody in this building gets decent sleep." 3 months later, he moved out. The landlord told me he'd complained that the building was too noisy during the day and that the wildlife situation was out of control. His replacement is a quiet college student who studies with headphones on. We've never had a single noise issue. Sometimes the best revenge is just giving someone a taste of their own medicine, with a little help from some well-fed pigeons.